Here we are, Raptor fans, and I really didn't expect to talk to you guys until like a preseason preview or a preseason game, but here we are at the beginning of August, and if you guys listened to the podcast last week, by the way, the link is in the description for the podcast channel and for the podcast on iTunes, guys. Go check that all out down below. Evan and I were talking about how, there was reports about Greg Monroe and the Toronto Raptors possibly talking about a deal. Now, we didn't think too much of it. The source we weren't too sure about, so we kind of waved that off as like, okay, whatever. It would be a nice fit, but whatever. Today on the podcast, by the way, the link, the podcast is up down below, guys. Go check that out as well. I think we were talking about the Blue Jays, and it pops up on, I think you might have heard the ding, that the Toronto Raptors have signed forward Greg Monroe to a 1-year, $2.2 million contract. And guys, this move is exactly what this team needs, really. Because you look at all the other positions where the Raptors have, and they're kind of filled up. But with the departure of Jakob Poeltl in the Kawhi Leonard trade, your backup center is kind of out there as like a question mark. And the Raptors go out there and they get a big man in Greg Monroe. When I say big man, I mean he's 6'11", 265 pounds. He's a big, big boy. But you know what? He's 28 years old. He's been around the league. He's been around the contending teams. Obviously, Detroit for many years. Milwaukee for a couple seasons. And then, I think for quite a few seasons in Milwaukee. I think it was like 3 seasons with Milwaukee. Then played in Phoenix. Then Boston for a bit. And now he's with the Toronto Raptors. He's bounced around quite a bit. But what this guy does, and what the Raptors had an issue with last year, was rebounding. The Raptors, we talked about it all in almost every single video last year. Oh, how many offensive rebounds the Raptors give up? Oh, they give up like 12. That was a big problem last year. Jakob Poeltl was great at getting on the offensive glass for the Raptors. But the problem was he wasn't active enough on the defensive glass to get to work. And a guy like Greg Monroe, offensive glass, defensive glass, he is a rebounder. He's not going to shoot the 3. He's basically never going to do that. But he's an efficient field goal shooter. With Boston last year in 26 games, he shot 53%. With Phoenix for 20 games, he shot 62%. He's a very efficient guy. He's a career 51% field goal shooter. He has never attempted a 3-point shot. That's just not in his game. But we're getting him for, neither did Jakob Poeltl. So if you guys are trying to compare the two, Jakob Poeltl, I mean, he might have taken a couple more, but really wasn't all effective. Greg Monroe is going to be a guy that is going to be a very great add to the bench. It's going to be fantastic to have JV, who a guy that showed us last season how he implemented a 3-point shot, and then you have Greg Monroe, just a solid guy in the post. He's a great guy down low. He knows how to work it down there. And guys, as much as people think, well, he's not in the greatest part of his career, last season, as a whole, right, he averaged, 10.3 points a game and almost 7 boards a game. And this is in limited time. I think he played like 20 minutes a game, if you combine last season. So if you're the Toronto Raptors, you look at, wow, in only 20 minutes he does that for a team, and he's efficient. Now, again, I don't know the ins and outs of Greg Monroe. Is he a good post defender? Is he a good defender in general? Those are things we're going to end up learning at some point. But what this is a 1-year, $2.2 million contract for a guy who will actually rebound a basketball and won't give another team 3 or 4 opportunities because Raptors are scrambling all over the place. He will grab the board. And that is something I can't wait to see because it's going to be nice. But Raptor fans, this guy fits our team very well. He supports JV very nicely. If JV's having a tough game, Greg Monroe can get right in there and do his work. That's it. Jakob Poeltl, you didn't know what you were going to get. With Greg Monroe, you already know what you're going to see. And it's not too bad. Averaging over 10 a game for a bench guy, I'd take that any day of the week. He was great. I mean, if you're looking at his career numbers as well, he's played 589 total games, 13.7 points, 8.6 boards. That's his average in his career. That's solid. And he's only 28 years old. People saying that's old or he's getting up there. That's DeMar DeRozan's age. Are we talking about him getting old? No. Kawhi Leonard's 27. I think he's still 27. Is he old? No. Then Greg Monroe is not old. Has he bounced around? Yeah. But when he is stable with a franchise, he really finds a way to perform. You look at his years, I mean, he was fantastic with Detroit, obviously averaging 15, 16, 15, 15, 15. You know, and obviously the playing time diminished over the couple of years. The Raptors could give him some solid time behind Jonas Valanciunas. You saw how key the bench was for the Raptors last season. Adding a big guy like this who's not going to shoot the three, but he's going to grab rebounds. It's great. I love the signing. We talked about it in the podcast twice, I guess, now. One when it actually happened, and the other time when it was speculation. Now, if all else kind of fits into place, he could really impact the team at a huge level. Will it happen? Time is going to tell. But overall, a very solid signing from Masai Ujiri. A one-year contract, you can never go wrong with that, and it's only $2.2 million, which is nothing. Considering Fred VanVleet got $9 million a season. Put that into perspective. Freddie's great. Like, I'm not going to, I mean, he's one of the best guys on the bench. But putting a guy like Greg Monroe only for $2 million, you got him for basically nothing. And he's gonna impact the team. It's a low risk, high reward type of move. I like it. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoy this video, and you guys like the signing of Greg Monroe, smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below. What do you guys think of the signing? Where do you think Greg Monroe is going to fit in this team? Could he possibly play the four without Ibaka there? Probably not, but hey, it's an option to think about. I know he's 6'11", and he's a big guy, so I don't know if his mobility is any good. But those are things we're going to learn. If you guys have any insight again on Greg Monroe, of his past, and what he's good at, what he's not good at, I want to hear what you guys have to say. Because like I said, low risk, high reward. If he's not good at something, oh well, you got him for $2 million. If he's great for something, hey, you got him for $2 million. That's it. All right? I want to hear what you guys have to say about this whole signing for Greg Monroe, and what are your expectations moving forward for the Toronto Raptors in the 2018-2019 season? Because it is upon us pretty much. A month away, baby, from training camp. I'm jacked up. I'm so happy. I'm so pumped to get back into the groove of Leafs and Raptors play, because the Jays are killing us on a daily basis. But they're off today, so we're alive. That's going to do it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys sometime next week, podcast edition. But as of right now, the link is in the description for the podcast channel and for the podcast stuff on iTunes, guys. Today's podcast was uploaded just now. It is on the channel down below and on iTunes down below as well. I hope you guys enjoy that. And Twitter is down below. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. And I will talk to you guys whenever Leafs and Raptors edition, and I'll talk to you guys Blue Jays edition tomorrow as they open up the 3-game set against the Boston Red Sox. Marcus Stroman, Drew Pomeranz at the Rogers Center, 7:07 first pitch. We'll talk to you guys then.